Pirates chairman Bob Nutting earlier today addressing the media after a record-setting night. Neil Huntington, Pirates general manager, talked about the background and what it took to sign the Buccos' #1 and #2 draft choices. Hi again, everybody. I'm Tim Neverett. Steve Blass joins me shortly. Pirates are the buzz of the baseball world today after they spent a record $17 million in the draft. PNC achievement for the achiever in you. An $8 million signing bonus for Garrett Cole out of UCLA, the first overall pick in the draft. And Josh Bell, who they thought would be a tough sign, took $5 million to reel him in. And Steve, big money for these big prospects. What does this mean for the organization?
Well, first of all, if you had any doubts that the Pirates were committed or not committed to the future, you can get rid of those doubts because they are writing big checks. It's not the first time. They have spent a lot of money in recent drafts, but you still go back to the fact you can write a big check, but it comes down to your scouting department. You want to get the right young men also.
Looking forward to seeing Garrett Cole and Josh Bell get started. The other news around baseball today and around the Pirates, the roster move. Pedro Alvarez optioned back to AAA, and Jose Tabata reinstated from the disabled list.
Yeah, and to be quite honest, Pedro was just lost, and we certainly hope that he finds it because he continues to be a big part of the Pirates' future.
The pitching matchup tonight in Game 2 between the Pirates and the Cardinals is Chris Carpenter. The veteran right-hander is 8-8. He's been tough on the Pirates. He'll take on Jeff Karsten.
He's always tough on the Pirates. 12-2 career against the Bucs. Jeff Karsten's a great bounce-back win. 9 strikeouts last time out against the Giants.
Karstens and Carpenter, the pitching matchup. Ryan Doman, 4 for 4 last night, the 6th time he has had 4 hits in a ball game. Can Dewey clean it up again as he moves into the cleanup spot tonight? Three-game series, the St. Louis Cardinals and the Pittsburgh Pirates at PNC Park. Short time ago, the umpires came out, and the man calling the balls and strikes tonight, Jerry Meals, behind the plate for the first time in a Pirate game since July 26th in the wee hours of the morning of July 27th. The Pirates lost in 19 innings to the Atlanta Braves. Jeff Karstens getting set to make the start, his 22nd start, 26th appearance. Tony La Russa sends his lineup out like this. John Jay will lead off, then Rafael Furcal, Albert Pujols, Matt Holliday, Lance Berkman, the meat of the order. David Freese swinging a pretty good bat lately. Schumacher playing second base, Laird behind the plate, and Carpenter doing the pitching and batting ninth.
Jeff Karstens, 9-6, 3.04 ERA. That ranks among the leaders in the National League. 1-1 in 3 career starts against the Redbirds with a great ERA against this team.
Jose Tabata back in the lineup and playing left field tonight. Ryan Ludwig the night off. And 2 strikes quickly to John Jay.
Well, you expect a lot of strikes, and you expect that these guys will move this ball game along. Carpenter and Karstens, they don't waste much time.
0-2 pitch. 1-2 to John Jay.
You know, and Tim, I go back to what Ray Searage told me about a month ago. Jeff Karstens, he has better stuff than people think. He has plenty of good stuff, and that's one of the weapons that he has, that good slow curve, 67 miles an hour. But the point I was going to make when we look at this replay of a good curveball by Karstens is that he reads the batters with the previous pitch, and that tells him, gives him an idea what he's going to do with the next pitch. So he reads what they do on a previous pitch. That sets it up what he wants to do on the next delivery, and a nice job, nice tidy job to start this ball game.
Strikeout number 1.
He is the amazing Kreskin, isn't he?
The way that he has pitched this year, and considering for Jeff Karstens a real example of perseverance, taken off the roster after the 09 season, had to earn his way last year, didn't know what role he'd have this year, and when Ross Ollendorf went down, Karstens was inserted into the lineup basically by default at that point in time, and Clint Hurdle can't get him out of the rotation.
He has not looked back.
Phil Furcal now behind a ball and 2 strikes.
They got a little slider to work with that curveball also, so he's got a couple breaking balls, and that's a tremendous advantage because the curveball is slow, the slider a little bit characteristic of the fastball.
Strike 3 call.
Way to go, Mason.
Thanks for coming. Wednesday against the Giants, a career high 9 strikeouts, didn't walk anybody. Went 6. 8 hits were scattered around the ballpark. He has allowed 2 earned runs or less in 14 of his last 18 starts.
Nice to face Albert with nobody on the base paths.
Well, if you have to face him, that's the way.
Yep, and you do have to face him. Part of the deal.
29 home runs, leads the National League. And he got that 29th on Sunday night at home against the Colorado Rockies. It was a 6-2 win. Rockies had gone up 2-0 in the top of the first, and then Albert came back and with one swing of the bat got the Cardinals right back in it. And it was the longest home run ever hit at the new Busch Stadium, 465 feet. And he is out. Well, Albert doesn't like it, but Jeff Karstens has struck out the side to start the ball game.
On Root Sports is sponsored by Barrel Automotive. Barrel.com. Definitely worth the click. Let's go Bucks.
Albert Pujols put that ball in play as he swung and put it right out in front of home plate, and Domet quickly tagged him. As you see, Jerry Meals calling a fair ball. And Jose Tabata starts with a strike. So instead of striking out the side, as I said, from where we are in our elevated perch, I saw Albert swing. I thought he struck out.
Almost as good. Hey, Jeff Carson's very impressive top of the first.
0-1 to Tabata's inside. Jose picks up his .265 average. 3 homers and 15 runs batted in. And prior to his injury, he had stolen 14 bases. A weak swing there, 1-2.
Last time we saw him, he was flat down on his face past first base with that quad injury. Chris Carpenter, the 36-year-old veteran, can do a lot of pitching. He's done a lot of it against the Pirates. 12-2 career against the Bucks.
Put you up high, 2-2. Jose was here yesterday, and with the rain, they wanted to get him outside and have him run and do some other things, but with the rain, it slowed him down a little bit, so they made a determination on him today. Bounces it to second, and Schumacher throws him out. The rest of the Pirates lineup brought to you by Toyota. Following Tabata, Xavier Paul had a home run last night. Andrew McCutchen and Ryan Domet, he also had a home run last night. 3-run shot. Walker Jones, Cedeno Harrison in the 8th spot, and Jeff Karsten's batting 9th against Chris Carpenter.
Carpenter 8-8 currently, but 7-1 recently after a very, very bumpy start to his season. 6'6", 230 pounds, out of Exeter, New Hampshire, up in your neighborhood, Tim.
Yeah, went to high school in Manchester, Trinity High School. He lives in St. Louis now.
It's his 14th major league season. Started out with Toronto and came to the Cardinals after the 2002 season.
Paul bunts a foul.
You got to give Chris Carpenter a lot of credit. He has gone through not just a Tommy John surgery, but also shoulder surgery. So he's had issues with shoulder and elbow, and he continues to be one of the dominant right-hand pitchers in Major League Baseball. He's won 141 games, including a 21-5 season with the Cardinals a few years back.
0-2 to Xavier Paul. Fastball in. 1-2. He talked about Tommy John. Caused him to miss half of 2 seasons. He missed the second half of the 07 season and the first half of the 08 season. And then in 2009, when he came back, he was given Comeback Player of the Year honors. Ball trying to run it out, but Carpenter's underhand toss to Pujols beats him. Carpenter, last time out against the Brewers, got a win, went 8, struck out 4. And at PNC Park, through 8 starts, 6-1, 2.9 the earned run average.
Take a look at that hit total. 8 innings, 10 hits. He's given up 187 hits this year, which is the most given up in the National League. But he knows how to get out of jams. As I said, he's been around 14 years. So he knows that program. He can pitch around a lot of hits.
McCutchen to Furcal, throwing on the run. He got him, and the Pirates gone in order. We'll head to the second inning at PNC Park, scoreless between the Pirates and the Cardinals.
back in starting today and finish the season with him healthy and aggressive and playing the kind of ball that we've seen him play. You know, he's anxious. Hopefully he'll settle down and just go out and play, but he wants to be a part of what's going on. He's been unplugged for a long time. And I do think he's a nice player that and could be a really good player that we need as we're moving forward as an organization.
Glenn Hurdle talking about the return of Jose Tabata. Tabata 0 for 1 so far tonight. And just turned 23 the other day. Matt Holliday lines it over the head of McCutcheon.
See it coming. Andrew broke in. That ball had a lot of carry. He hit the bottom part of the ball that had the bottom spin that took it over. You could see it the moment Andrew broke in.
Well, center fielders will tell you the hardest ball is the one hit right at you.
Yep. He got a lot of this ball, and he got the bottom part of the ball that gave it carry. It happens. It's not much fun to watch. And that ball imparts that backspin that makes it carry. That ball is blistered. Happens to every center fielder. It's not much fun to look at, but it happens.
Still a little bit of a glare at this time of the night. The sun not quite out of the eyes of the players yet. Lance Berkman takes strike one. Although the later we get in the season, the darker it gets at the earlier parts of the game.
There are parts of this ballpark and back of home plate too that'll get you that setting sun down by the West End Bridge. It'll come through. That, not saying it was a factor there, but it can be a factor at times.
Pitch low to Berkman, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Neil Walker broke badly on a ground ball. He was able to recover and get, I think, off the bat of Molina. Able to catch up to it, but couldn't pick it up off the bat quickly. Made an adjustment, made a good play.
I thought he was just trying to fake out the ball.
He did.
2-1 to Berkman. 369 with runners in scoring position. Last night 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch and also walked. No score, nobody out. Holliday the runner at second.
You know, you can actually see a little bit of glare right in front of home plate that may or may not affect the vision of the pitcher or the batter. See that little, you can hold it right there for a second. Right there, there's a little patch, and there's a patch down the right field line, so you never know if they become involved in a given play. But they are there. I know pitching sometimes looking into light like that during your windup can't be the most fun thing. Most of the time it's minimal.
Strike 3. And now Karstens with 3 strikeouts.
And a chance for Jeff perhaps to pick up his center fielder. Like he took something off the fastball there. Berkman a little bit out in front. Jeff does not telegraph his off-speed pitches. That's a big item. You want to be as close to the motion you have with your fastball with every delivery, every pitch that you throw, every different pitch.
Freeze, a ground ball to third. Shortstop rather. Down to third goes Holliday, and Freeze is out.
Ronnie picked up the right item, the baseball instead of the bat. There goes the bat, there goes the ball, there goes the runner. A lot of things happening there, but Sedanius stays with it. Good thing he didn't try to pick up the runner.
From the AGH cam, that
more kindling.
Bat just exploded. So with 2 outs, Matt Holliday is at third base. And the batter will be Skip Schumacher.
The versatile Schumacher played center field last night. He's a good player. Skip Schumacher.
Well, he gives Tony La Russa some options. Play him in the outfield, play him in the infield. Get him at the top of the order, down toward the bottom. Last night in the second and again in the fourth, Holliday would lead off with a double. And each time he would be stranded.
These Cardinals lead the National League in hitting. Tough group. Strike zone presented by Range Resources. Darn right is a strike. I don't care what the grid says.
Pitcher's pitch.
Sure.
And now Karstens comes back to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And now Jeff can play around a little bit because he's got a couple open bases. And if he misses Schumacher, who's hitting 291, he goes to Gerald Laird, who's hitting 246. So it's not all bad. So he can try to make his kind of pitch a couple of times here.
2-2 to first base and past Jones. And the Cardinals now with a 1-0 lead. Schumacher, a base hit and a run batted in. And the Cardinals strike first here tonight.
I don't know if Jones got a piece of that or not. Almost looks like it might have changed direction a little bit. Hard to tell, but it's a 1-0 Cardinal lead.
Schumacher drives in the game's first run. Now Gerald Laird, the catcher, puts it up in the air to center field, fairly deep, but going back McCutcheon makes the catch this time. 1 run comes in on 2 hits, and the Cardinals left a man. 1-0 St. Louis. Major league leaders. Roy Halladay, 19 shutouts. These are among active pitchers. Chris Carpenter next with 13. Then Hudson, Sabathia, and Lee. Barrel definitely worth the click at barrel.com. Ryan Doumit for the 6th time in his career had 4 hits in a ball game, equaling his career high. Drove in 3 with a 3-run shot. It was a bomb deep to right field. Came in the 4th inning. Home run number 6 for Doumit. He rips this one foul down the first base side.
But he is on the ball, though. He is on it right now, and you never know how long these little hot streaks, when you see the ball so well, you don't know how long they're going to last, but you ride them hard. This breaking ball, he stays with it just a little bit out in front, but tattooed it.
That's what he hit last night from Jake Westbrook. It was a hanging breaking ball that he crushed. 2-2 to Ryan Doumit. Moves up into the cleanup spot. Clint Hurdle trying to ride the hot bat. And Doumit down on strikes.
Cutter inside and under the hands. Strike Strike zone. So that might have been down and in, but the strike zone is going to show you this one is off the strike zone. But it's hard to lay off that hard slider down and in. If you're a right-hand pitcher, that's where you want to bury it to a left-hand power guy.
Neil Walker, a multi-hit game last night after going through a slump on the road trip. And ended up with run-scoring double in the 7th inning and an opposite field single in the 4th. 1-1 the count.
A little perspective about these starting pitchers. Chris Carpenter making his 321st Major League start. Jeff Carson his 72nd.
And Walker to right field. That's down for a hit.
That ball's hit hard.
Neil Walker's got the stroke back.
Breaking ball, goes down and gets it. Good stroke there. Good, looks to me like good hitting form. Have to talk to Rock about it, but looked pretty good from this angle.
Well, Garrett Jones coming to the plate. And our Day Automotive key matchup features Garrett Jones. It was 6 out of 16 with a pair of doubles and a home run against Chris Carpenter. Day Automotive, we're going to make your day.
And Carpenter at 36 years of age, still bringing it 93 miles an hour.
I think he's a little busy to answer right now.
I don't think there's any question about that answer. That very nice invitation.
Garrett Jones. No balls, 2 strikes. Jones this month hitting .327. 245 overall.
Carpenter has done a good job keeping the ball in the ballpark. Minimal home run numbers.
Strike 3. And Garrett goes down looking. 2 strikeouts now for Carpenter.
Strike zone. Range resources. Paints the outside corner.
Jones back to the bat rack. And there was batter now, Ronnie Cedeno.
There was a time where Carpenter gave up a bunch of home runs, 30 one year, 29 another, but those days are gone. He's much better keeping the ball in the ballpark.
Ronnie reached base 3 times in the game last night, twice on a fielder's choice and once with a double. One to Ronnie. Cedeno has hit the Cardinals pretty well. He awaits the 1-ball, 1-strike pitch from Chris Carpenter.
Old school the way Chris Carpenter wears those uniform pants. You don't see many uniforms for the Cardinals these days that will show those roundabout stripes.
I don't know if those are going to make a full comeback or not, but
you can wear them when you're as good as Carpenter
when
is.
you do what he does. Toward the middle, and Furcal. What a play by Rafael Furcal, stealing a hit from Ronnie Cedeno. 1-0 after 2.
Jerry Meals is behind home plate tonight, but earlier today, he and his crew were at Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh visiting some very special children. Got a chance to talk to a lot of patients and give them a little encouragement. Also hosted a Build-A-Bear workshop where, yes, dressing up the Build-A-Bear as a pirate or in a pirate uniform was the most popular choice. Of course it was. It was the 60th visit by the Umps Care charity program for the very first here in Pittsburgh. And guys from Lacey Collins told me, who was actually out at the event this morning, it will eagerly be awaited to come back very soon here to Pittsburgh.
That's a great story. Great story.
Sure, the kids really appreciated the visit, and the Build-A-Bears, especially the ones in the pirate uniforms.
The gift of giving your time is the best gift of all.
1-2 to the pitcher, Chris Carpenter.
Now, I can assure you now, Jeff Carson's with that shadow in back of him is looking into the sun partially during his windup.
Carson's delivering 1-2. He strikes out Carpenter. 4 strikeouts for Jeff.
By the way, though, excuse me, those 9 strikeouts against the Giants came in 6 innings.
All right. See where the sun is right on Jeff.
So that's got to be, he's got to be picking that up visually somewhere, that glare.
John Jay takes a strike. Jay was the Cardinals' #2 pick in 2006 out of the University of Miami. Started the season wearing number 15. And then when the veteran Furcal came along, he wanted his customary number 15, and John Jay had to get another number. So he settled on 19. Ball and 2 strikes to Jay. There is the new 15 on the Cardinals for call. Two and 2.
Well, Jeff trying to flip up that slow curveball. Dead fish.
Just inside that time. Back with a fastball.
He doesn't miss by much when he's got a purpose pitch, setting up that fastball with a previous slow curve.
And he walked him. Doesn't do that very often. Go back to his last start in San Francisco. Just 6 innings. But he had some good success on the hill. Strikeout there. And defensively made a superior play here, retiring Andres Torres.
Good looking stuff.
Aubrey Huff, no luck.
And you see him doing it with different pitches. You saw the fastballs, you saw the curveball, you saw a couple sliders. 9 Ks.
For a call, takes ball 1.
Now that slow curve right there again. So Jeff needs to be consistent with that because it gives him great separation of the fastball and slider down to that slower speed. And it doesn't do you any good if you miss with it. So he's got to find that. It'll be a nice contrast.
Found the corner that time, 1-1. Here in the top of the 3rd inning, 1-0 Cardinals. Coming up in the bottom of the 3rd, we'll be visited by Pirate General Manager Neil Huntington. Talk about the draft and the signing of #1 overall pick Garrett Cole, and what might have been a very challenging pick to reel in, Josh Bell, the high schooler from Texas, #2 pick, who was considered perhaps a first-round type of talent. But it was widely reported he notified Baseball Scouting Bureau that he wanted to go to the University of Texas and advised teams not to draft him. Pirates took a chance on him anyway.
If you write the check, they will come.
Well, they're warming up the pens. 1-2 to Rafael Furcal. Will wait, and the throw to first, and diving back is John Jay. Pirates making news all around baseball, showing their commitment to the draft and building through the system. The number of dollars they spent this year, a record amount. A call late on that one. Right over the head of Dan Potash. He didn't have to move, I guess. One out. Jay at first, held on by Garrett Jones. And the 1-ball, 2-strike pitch. Popped him up. Walker goes out. Still backpedaling. 2 gone for the Cardinals. Fans, you can take the Pirates with you wherever you go this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Pirates game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Pirates.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere.
Happy birthday, Bill. By the way, is there any reason that McCutchen or Paul didn't call off Neil Walker there when he wound up well into right center field? Took him a while to get back to his position at second base.
He backpedaled right between the two.
Dangerous business. Dangerous business. Check out how far Neil goes back. I mean, wouldn't you think one of those other guys had a better angle? But all's well that ends well. He has to keep going. The minute he calls it, he's got to keep going until somebody calls him off.
And a strike to Pujols.
Strike zone on the outside corner, and that's kind of a moving fastball that moves back, starts off as a ball, moves back, tails back, picks up that outside corner. That's the backdoor fastball. Did he go? Let's appeal. No sale.
C.B. Buckner, the umpire at first base.
50-50 chance against Albert. 20-80 chance of getting that call.
Two and one to Albert Pujols. And Karstens delivers. There's a high chopper. Cedeno goes the short way. They'll get the force out of Jay at second base. 1-0 Cardinals after 2.5.
In the position that we said we were going to 3.5 years ago, when we said we're going to allocate dollars aggressively, we're going to supplement when we need to, we're going to do everything we can to build a championship organization in Pittsburgh. So this draft was a good opportunity. Some of the additions this season have been an opportunity. That's what we need to do to continue to improve the talent level and quality of this team.
Josh Harrison leading off against Chris Carpenter in the bottom half of the third inning. Pirates chairman Bob Nutting taking us back from break and talking about building a championship organization and what it takes. And I think the Pirates certainly put a pretty firm step forward showing what it's going to take to try to build a championship organization. Pirates general manager Neil Huntington joins Steve and I in the booth now. And Neil, I'm sure there's a little bit of relief that this part of the draft is over. Now the fun part, you get to watch guys like Garrett Cole and Josh Bell develop with the Pirates system.
Without question, we've been incredibly fortunate with the resources Bob Nutting's giving us, not only for the draft, that's the obvious one, but for the infrastructure, to bring on good people, to keep good people, to train good people. The foundation that we're in the process of putting together, obviously it becomes very public with the play of the Major League team, the amount of money that we've just invested in the draft. And yeah, we are looking forward to getting Josh and Garrett out. They're excited to get back on the ball field. They hate being away from the game. The process is flawed. We're hopefully going to work to have that corrected between Major League Baseball and the union. But we've got two young men that are just excited to get back on the field, as well as Holmes yesterday, too, the other pick that we signed. It's going to be a fun instructional league to watch these guys grow.
Tell us a little bit about Garrett Cole. We've been hearing about him since before the draft, but going through the process and getting to know the #1 pick a little better, what can you tell us about him?
Well, you know, Garrett obviously has the fastball. It's 93 to 100 miles an hour, 101 at times. He's got what can be a devastating changeup. He's got a slider that at times is a wipeout slider. Both off-speed pitches need to be refined. The fastball command, the effort level. He is a tremendous competitor, comes from a great family. He's very, very intelligent, and he's driven to be a successful Major League pitcher.
Garrett Cole, UCLA Bruin, and outstanding makeup, we understand, as far as his game preparation is concerned. The statistics weren't necessarily what he was looking for, but his ability and a lot of the things, the tangibles and the intangibles, were what you liked about him, right?
Absolutely. Again, Garrett comes from an educated family. He's from a successful family. He's driven. He wants to be great. He's got great stuff. A little bit of inconsistency this year. Wasn't the best performer in the draft, but we felt had the highest upside and the best stuff of any pitcher in the draft.
Neil, an overview of what you have done, I would think a tip of the cap to people who evaluate the talent that you're looking at and scrutinizing. That's absolutely critical. I guess you can write a big check, but it's got to be the right young man.
Without question, as Bob reminds me every so often, if not all that often, we just need to be right. And with Greg Smith, our scouting director, Joe Delacari, our assistant scouting director, our national supervisors, our regional supervisors, our area guys, they just do a tremendous job, not only of identifying the right players, picking the right players, but picking the right people. That's an important part of our process. We want quality people. We want character, guys with high characters, guys with some intelligence, some aptitude, physical and mentally, that they can make adjustments. And I can't say enough great things about our scouts. Many of them have thankless jobs. They feel like they're on an island by themselves as they run around Texas or the northern part of the country, and they wonder, are they ever going to get a player? And then you get the call that you get Garrett Cole, or our Texas scout just did a tremendous job of staying with the Bell family and gave us the opportunity to get into the house and get to know Josh, and had followed Josh for a long time and knew that Josh wanted to be a Major League player. And we felt that we took a worthwhile risk, and it obviously paid off for us as we've added two of what we believe to be the top 6 talents in the draft this year.
Separate itineraries for these guys going forward from this point, Neil?
Yeah, what we want to do is we want to get them in here, introduce them to our media, let them see PNC Park, let them see what they're working for, allow our fans to get a taste of what makes these young men outstanding young men. And then we've got to get to learn them. They've got to get to learn us. We've got to develop that trust and build that relationship upon which we can help them become stars and help them achieve their potential and help them become what they're capable of.
It's got to be a chance for them to kind of catch their breath after the whole process before they go out and become baseball players.
Absolutely.
Jose Tabata getting down the line very well here on his first base hit since being activated from the disabled list. Jose Tabata with an infield single. So the Pirates now with 2 men on and 1 man out for Xavier Paul. Tabata activated today. Pedro Alvarez being optioned back to AAA. What went into that decision?
You know, great to see Jose back out again. It's always a tough decision when to bring a guy back from rehab because, as Clint's talked about, they don't always give you 100% down there. They're a little bit protective of their injury, and are they confident? Are they ready to go? And you don't always see it until you get back to the Major League level, and the AAA pitching is just so different from the Major League pitching. But we felt like Jose was ready to go. And Pedro, we talked openly when we brought him up when Alex got hurt that it probably wasn't the right time. But Pedro had success last August. He'd had success, a lot of success in September, shown some things in spring training, shown flashes over the course of the season. He'd gotten healthy. He was on the right track. So it wasn't like we took a guy out of A-ball out of desperation and ran into the big leagues. We knew it wasn't ideal. It didn't work very well. We want to get Pedro back down. He's a huge part of our future. We wanted to get him back down, let him get back to a level that he knows he can compete. He will compete at. Allow him to make some of those offensive and defensive adjustments in a level that he's comfortable at instead of being in survival/desperation mode up here at the Major League level. He's a big part of our future. He wants to be great. He wants it badly. And that's just kind of weighing on him, and he's carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders right now. Get him out, take a deep breath, get him to make some adjustments, get him back here, and he's going to hit a lot of home runs in this ballpark.
Some kind of pleasant issue/problems coming back as these guys become healthy. Presley, Darno, are they close?
Yeah, they're getting there. They're in that same phase that Jose was, that you feel physically there are good days and there are bad days, where they let it go, and then the next day they're a little bit hesitant because it feels a little tight. They're in that mode right now. They're also trying to get their timing back. Chase coming off the finger, the hand injury. Alex coming off the hand injury. They're getting their timing. Both have had exceptional games down there. Both have had some rough games, but we're working through that process. And the nice part is we've got a little bit of time here with the addition of Ryan in the outfield. We don't have to rush Alex back. We can make him feel comfortable and confident. He's still learning how to use the padding and what padding is going to be appropriate for him. Chase is still getting the confidence back in the batter's box. But as you guys remember, it was a fun and athletic club that we ran around here for a 6-week period or 4-week period, unfortunately, before they both went down. And it will be fun to try to get them both back out here and both back in the lineup and give Clint more options to try to win ball games.
In the middle of all this, you got some of the Altoona guys here last night, or the Spikes guys, Stetson Alley. Do you see him even early kind of stepping forward to growing up a little bit as a professional?
We've had some guys that have gone through adversity, and we would much rather they go through adversity at the minor league level. Probably the earlier the better than to have them face it for the first time up here, because sometimes it's awfully tough to recover when the first adversity you face at the major league level. We've got some young guys in Alley and Luis Herrera. In his very first taste, he'd be a junior in high school. And he's pitching in the Gulf Coast League against 18 to 23-year-olds, and they've done a nice job. Xavier fell coming out of the box.
Xavier Paul stumbled out of the box, didn't get going. Schumacher gets one out, and now the Pirates with 2 men in scoring position with 2 down.
Hopefully it's not like Barbaro. Yeah, he's hurting a little bit. He didn't get up and just take off again. An ankle turn. Ouch.
Xavier Paul back in the Pirate dugout. A chance now for the Bucks to get on the board, trailing 1-0. Andrew McCutchen at the plate facing Chris Carpenter.
Good to see him moving okay and not a trainer on his back right there.
Absolutely. We've had enough times where we've had 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 guys in the disabled list. So hopefully Xavier's going to be all right. He's been playing really well lately.
1 ball and no strikes to Andrew McCutchen. So what is going to be next for the draft class? Is there different, as Steve mentioned earlier, different itineraries for different guys, but is there something similar at the beginning for everybody who's now going to be welcomed into the Pirate family?
Well, one of the great things, one of the many great things that Pirate City having the dorm allows us to do is we will basically bring almost every new player, every drafted player that's coming to the organization, whether they signed the day after the draft or whether they signed yesterday. We will bring them to Florida for instructionally, and they will get an indoctrination period on who we are, how we do things, why we do things, what we expect, and that's unquestionable.
McCutchen hammers this one. It is gone. A 3-run home run for Andrew McCutchen, his 17th. And the Pirates have jumped in front, 3-1.
And Neil, with all this talk about the future, That's a pretty good look at the present. that's a fun one.
Absolutely. I mean, Andrew and Walk have had their ups and downs this year, and that's the exciting part for us. It's not to take away from anything from any of the veteran players. We've got some guys who are really having nice years. The core of our production has come from our young players, and they're going to be the core of our future as we go forward. We'll look to add to it via trades. We'll look to add to it via free agency, but there is a very nice young core in place here that as they grow, as they develop, as they mature, some really good things are happening. And
a good feeder system on the way, and that's got to be as important as anything.
Without question. We saw firsthand the depth, the Darnos, the Presleys, the Harrisons, the guys that came up through our system and held their own. Maybe not too many guys excelled. Alex obviously had a great start, but for the most part they came up, they held their own, they kept us on course. We eventually we ran out. You know, at some point in time you run out of options in AAA. We've got some other guys in AAA that are on track. We've got some young guys that haven't had an opportunity. We've got a good group in AA, a very good group in A-ball at the 2 levels, and then obviously this year's draft class. So there's a good group coming, and also a very nice group up here. Clinton and his staff continue to do a great job, and can't say enough great things about the people we work with.
Can't thank you enough for spending time with us, Neil.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Neil. Andrew McCutchen, a 3-run home run, has the Pirates in front. Andrew McCutchen's 17th home run. It was a 3-run job. Pirates now in front 3-1 over Chris Carpenter and the Cardinals. RBIs 69, 70, and 71. And McCutchen now in the club lead in runs batted in now.
We can take a 3-run home run each night, can't we? Does that work?
Be nice. Be very nice.
Domet last night, McCutchen tonight. That'll work. Instant offense. Thanks to Neil Huntington. What a crazy 24 hours it's been for him, and we appreciate him taking the time to join us.
It is. For not only Neil, but his entire staff. It was a little comebacker. And Matt Holliday is out. 1 pitch, 1 away. But, you know, again, tip of the cap to the entire staff. And I was talking to Neil the other day when we were on the road. I said, you know, why do they have the deadline at midnight? Why can't they have it like at a reasonable, like 5 p.m. or something? He said, that's a good point. Changes might be coming. You never know if that's going to be part of the changes. But the new collective bargaining agreement, there is discussion going on for adjustments in the draft system.
Isn't the trading deadline July 31st, like 4 p.m. or 5 p.m.?
Yeah,
something like
that's
that?
in the afternoon. Well, then you got to stay up and keep doing all the follow-up. They don't get to bed till the wee hours.
Well, the thing is,
turn around and get ready for a ball game.
If the draft doesn't work, then you still got time for last call.
In some states, but not all.
5 o'clock somewhere.
Berkman to the gap. And this will be cut off by McCutchen. Berkman around first. Here's the throw. And Berkman overslid. And did he keep his hand on? He did. Boy, it looked like Dan Iasogna was keeping a close eye on that hand of Lance Berkman and made sure that it stayed on the base. He almost slid himself into an out.
Well, Lance, a big man, when he puts it down and slides, there's a lot going on. The right hand back, he says, maintain contact. Neil says no, that his vote doesn't count.
David Freese, the hitter. Let's get another look. See if there's any angle that might determine whether there was the sweep tag. Then he came back. It's just a matter of whether or not Berkman got his hand down before he was actually touched by the glove of Walker. Difference of opinion between Walker and the umpire. And as you say, it's the umpire's vote that counts. Back
you
to
really
get him.
Don't quite know what's happening.
Look at that. See, he's
the
got
body and the ball.
He's out. See, his hand is on Neil's foot and not the base.
What about the elbow?
Now, that one came down later.
Good.
So that's the AGH cam, and that tells all. So Neil Walker did have a point.
And Ryan Doman had a point last night coming across home plate.
And he also was safe. Three and one. Karsten's falling behind the Cardinal third baseman.
Yeah, Jeff trying to press him inside to take that arm extension away. Tie him up, get in on the handle of the bat, just a little too far in.
Three balls, one strike. Cedeno with a nice play. Can he complete it? No, it's a base hit.
Boy, good stop by Ronnie. Just looked like an awkward position, body position after he snagged the ball. This ball is ripped. You see, Ronnie just can't get his feet underneath him, and a good pick by Garrett Jones. Not only to try for the out, but to save that ball going over into the screened area, the fencing area, and possibly into the dugout. Good pick, good stretch. Just not quite enough time.
And now the tying run on base with one out. Schumacher drove in the first Cardinal run, got Holiday in with a base hit in the second inning.
The Cardinals, I believe, lead all of baseball in double plays hit into. They still got a bunch.
132.
9 for Schumacher.
Karstens could certainly use one here. And he
Stay up.
is going to get a little bit of help. That ball did hang up for Tabata. And now there are 2 men away. Tonight's AT&T Mobility Trivia question. The Pirates spent over $17 million in signing bonuses in the 2011 draft, a new Major League Baseball record. Which team held the previous record? Which team held the previous record? Want to throw some guesses out?
Nationals. Steven Strasburg and whoever else.
Well, Steven had 15 of that himself.
15 large.
Want to know to Gerald Laird.
Carefully to Laird. You got Chris Carpenter in the on deck circle. And with Jeff Karsten's control, they might be thinking along those lines.
Laird flying to center in the second inning. 0 for 1. 2 out and 2 on. Berkman at second base. And David Freese at first. Pitcher Chris Carpenter on deck.
Not that he's automatic. 9 base hits and a couple of career home runs.
How about that shirt? He is the bunt runt.
How about the hairdo?
That's the new Blade look. Way out in front.
But Jeff Carson's kind of trademark slow curveball.
He's got a slower one than this. This one was about 77. He can get down to 67.
Yeah, there's a subtle little contest among the Pirate starters who can throw the slowest curveball. Jeff is in contention.
Tying run is at first base. 2 outs. Here's the 2-2. Now the count full. The runners will get a head start. See what Jeff comes back with.
Yeah, he can come back with a fastball. He can really try to still make a pitch again with Carpenter in the on deck circle. There you see the separation I've been talking about, 91 to 67. That's a lot of separation, a lot of contrast.
3-2. And Laird up in the air to left. Here comes Jose Tabata.
Hey, Jeff.
And the Cardinals will strand 2. 3-1 Pirates here at PNC Park.
Pirates Baseball on Root Sports is sponsored by Toyota. Buy right the first time and save more. Visit your local Toyota dealer for details. And by AT&T. Let's go Bucks!
Back here at PNC Park with Dan Potash and Steve Blass. I'm Tim Neverett. Pirates a 3-1 lead. Bottom of the 4th inning. Neil Walker at the plate. Walker 1 for 1 tonight. A single in the 2nd inning. Carpenter's 0-1. Now it's 0-2 to Neil. Walker awaits the 0-2 pitch. Here it is. Inside 1-2.
Not only old style the way Chris Carpenter wears his uniform, but watch the way he holds his glove. A lot of guys have that glove all squeezed and tightened up and kind of a hinge. He kind of holds it open like a pancake, just kind of a different approach. Usually guys close it up real tight. Got it wide open. That's big glove.
No hole in the back either.
No,
this is the hand or the finger. It's just
tricky.
A solid piece of glove. Some guys like to stick a finger out, index finger, or there'll be a hole where you see the back of the hand. There's nothing there.
Just missing outside. Take a look on the grid. Good call. Strike zone.
So now the payoff pitch coming to Neil Walker. Carpenter winds and deals. And Walker smacks it to right field. A carbon copy of his first hit.
And the crack of the bat again. Solid, rock solid contact. 3-2 fastball. 3-2 base hit. Listen. Yeah. Love it now. I used to hate it when I was out there.
Sometimes there was a second sound when you were pitching, right? You'd hear the ball coming by your head.
Yeah, yeah.
That's got a distinct.
Or the umpire saying, here's a new ball.
Garrett Jones struck out looking first time. And this time swinging at the first pitch and fouls it back. It was good to visit with Neil Huntington, talking about the draft. And there's been so much talk since the draft about Garrett Cole, and not just about him, but about the deadline of waiting till mid-August, and these young players who are apt to make millions, which some did last night, certainly, don't want to risk getting injured, so they don't play during the summer. And for a lot of those guys, it's the first time since they can remember they had sat out a summer of playing baseball.
Well, they can risk injury next year. I mean, you always got a risk of injury. Get out there and play.
That's what sets guys back, and that's one of the problems that the teams have with the late deadline. As you pay a guy a big bonus, he now becomes your employee. You want to indoctrinate him into the system, get him in instructional league, maybe even get him in some games before the summer's over. But if you sign this late, there's little to no chance of that happening, and you lose essentially your first pro season.
Well, I always wanted to play for the Cleveland Indians, and they offered me a contract to play pro ball, but wait till the following spring to do it. So the Pirates came along and said I could play right away. So I signed with the Pirates.
Jones pops it up. Shortstop for call. We'll wait and make the catch.
Yep. There was one other factor. The Pirates offered me more money.
Yeah, that's always a plus. Talking about money, how about our AT&T Mobility trivia question? Pirates spent over $17 million in signing bonuses this draft, a new MLB record. Which team holds or held the previous record? And it was the Washington Nationals, but it wasn't the year that Steven Strasburg signed. It was last year when they got Bryce Harper. So Strasburg got a contract, and the nomenclature being a contract and not a bonus. So
but it's still draft money, right?
It's money. Well, money's money.
Yeah.
But
and was there a year involved? Was there a year involved, or was it just the
2010 last year?
But I mean, did the question ask the particular year, or just which team spent the most?
The question asked which team, but it was the 2010 Nationals.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to see that question again if we could. Can we post that up there?
We're looking for the previous record amount of signing bonuses paid out. So Steve, you're going to break this question down. Huh?
This is a different question. It's a good question. It's a good question.
You want to try to answer that one?
Nah. Okay. Wrong again. 0 for 43.
Cedeno now behind 0-2.
Not as far behind as I am. Well, it's a lot of money, folks.
Oh, and 2 the count to Ronnie Cedeno. 1 out. Walker at first. Well, if you could turn back the clock and they had big signing bonuses.
I wouldn't care if it was the contract, the bonus, or they gave it to the guy that delivers oil to the house, heating oil.
What would you have done with the money?
A lot. I did a lot with the $4,000 I got.
Ronnie out front strikes out.
Back then they had conditional bonuses, Tim. You got $4,000 up front, and then if you made it to the big leagues, you got another $4,000. That's a true story. That's the way it worked. Yeah, conditional contracts.
Well, if you have a question, we want to hear it, and so does Steve.
Boy, do I ever.
Text the keyword booth followed by your question and name to 412-412. We'll ask your question, Steve, a little later in the game. Remember, message and data rates may apply.
I'm going to get that one right, no matter what it is.
2 outs for Josh Harrison. Harrison struck out first time up, takes a strike. So, Steve, are you challenging the viewers to
Absolutely. I am
send
ready.
you a challenging question that you can't get right?
Well, there's a possibility of that. And back in the day, too, if you got more than $4 grand, Tim, you had to stay with a big league team.
Really?
That was the bonus rule back then.
Well, rules have changed, haven't they?
Yes, they have.
To center field, John Jay will put it away, and the Pirates strand the leadoff man, Neil Walker. Will head to the 5th. 3-1 Pirates.
At PNC Park here on Root Sports, and you're getting a look at Charlie Morton, who will not pitch in this series, but he is scheduled to go Saturday afternoon against the Cincinnati Reds. But he was busy earlier today, along with some of his Pirate teammates and Pirates chairman of the board, Bob Nutting. They all welcomed the 11 active duty members of the Wounded Warriors to PNC Park. Now, all 11 are from Western Pennsylvania, and they are currently receiving medical treatment at Walter Reed Medical Center in Washington, D.C. Kind of a cool opportunity to meet players, get autographs, shake some hands, take some pictures. And actually, they're still here. They're in a suite tonight enjoying the ball game. I actually found out that they chartered an airplane from D.C., flew in just for the day, taking the game, and go back tomorrow. So really a cool opportunity in 24 hours to maybe live out a dream for some of them. And Steve, real quickly, I can't text the booth because my phone won't allow me to, but I do have a question.
Okay.
What did you do with the $4,000 that you got back in the day?
First of all, I went out and bought 2 6-packs, and then I paid all my folks' bills.
Nice. There you go.
With the 6-packs or with the money?
No, with the money. That was a lot of money back in Falls Village, Connecticut in 1960. But I was so naive being from a small town. I'd never been away from Falls Village. I flew to Pittsburgh to try out after high school with my dad and my high school coach. The plane took off from Bradley Field in Hartford. It banked to the left, and I leaned to the right to balance. So, I mean, I had no idea what the big world was about. But I can. This plane's going to tip over if I don't lean.
You better go this way.
Yeah. And then the stewardess came back and said, "Would you like a cocktail?" And I said, "I'd like a shrimp cocktail." And we never saw her again. That was it. But
why am I not surprised?
But it was quite an experience coming to Forbes Field to try out with what was going to be the world champion 1960 Pittsburgh Pirates. And I was there when the Cubs in the middle of the summer swept the Pirates on a Sunday afternoon. I swear that cost me at least $11 of bonus money. Oh. Just the whole temperament changed when they lost the doubleheader.
John Jay ahead in the count 2-0 against Jeff Karstens.
The great thing was, too, that Bob Oldis was a third-string catcher. There was Smokey Burgess, Hal Smith, and Bob Oldis, and he caught me in my tryout. 40 years later, down at fantasy camp, I asked him if he remembered. He said, "Are you nuts? Are you out of your mind?"
Oh, just went foul. Good hands by the fan.
By the way, neat trivia question up on the board tonight, up on the big board. Who is the last Pirate pitcher to win the Rolaids Relief Pitcher of the Year? Now, I'll test your trivia. Who would you guess?
Well, I was watching the bunt run fire that ball back.
Why do you say that?
Listening to you.
That just
it says it on his T-shirt.
I don't care.
He was testing out his arm. He might be a future Rolaids relief man, the way that he threw it. That's up in the air to short left. Cedeno on.
You're the only guy who can get it, Ronnie. Great play.
The basket catch. And John Jay retired. 2 gone for the Cardinals in the top of the 5th.
Nice play. Tabata was not going to get to this ball. And Ronnie Cedeno took off. Stayed locked in. Not the easiest catch, but it made it look kind of easy. By the way, Dave Justy saved 30 games for the champion Pirates in '71. Rolaids Relief Pitcher of the Year. Last Pirate to do it.
Field for a call, takes a strike. I would have guessed that about 5 or 10 minutes.
I understand. I understand.
I was trying to formulate my answer, but I was a little distracted.
He also did not give up a run in 10 innings of postseason work, which is instrumental in us wearing these rings that we wear.
There's the 0-2. And a bouncer down to second base. Walker handles it. Takes care of for call. And the Cardinals go down in order in the 5th. Wind up and the pitch. Pirates with a 3-1 lead. First pitch to Jeff Karstens is up and in for ball 1. Pirates lead it 3-1. And they're battling in the bottom of the 5th inning. Strike called to Jeff, along with Dan Potash and Steve Blass. I'm Tim Neverett here at PNC Park. Game 2 of this 3-game set. Pirates won last night. Trying to hang on to this lead here tonight and add to it.
So far, Jeff Karstens right in form, coming off that good start against the Giants. Let me give you a little overview, a little season snapshot about Jeff Karstens as he waits for this 1-2 pitch, which could be a problem, and is. Started 21 games. In 19 of the 21, he has given up 3 runs or less. 21 starts, 19 of them 3 runs or less. Now, that's pretty darn consistent.
Sort of figured it out. You know, it's that age-old axiom of pitching: work fast, Change speeds, throw strikes. And he does all three of those.
Yep.
Jose Tabata, top of the order. He's got a hit and a run scored tonight. Base hit in the third. Back in the first inning, he grounded out to Schumacher at second base. Just activated today from a 15-day disabled list, in a move that saw the Pirates send Pedro Alvarez back to Indianapolis in AAA, where he will remain until the end of the AAA season.
Both of these starters have made one real costly mistake. Jeff Carson's made a mistake to Schumacher. It was a single, cost him a run. Carpenter made the mistake to McCutchen. It cost him 3.
Tabata goes down swinging. So 2 strikeouts in the inning for Carpenter. 5 in the game.
Strike zone shows a pitch that you cannot take too close, but also a pitch that you can't really do much with. So in essence, a pitcher's pitch.
That was the 6th strikeout, not the 5th. Strikeout number 6 for Carpenter. Xavier Paul 0 for 2. Lately, we have been seeing some pop in the bat of Xavier Paul. Not only due to the home run he hit yesterday, but even in Milwaukee, he hit a number of balls deep to center field, including one off the wall where he picked up his 4th triple of the season. And last night, how about this? Bottom of the first inning, greets Jake Westbrook with one off the top of the padded portion of the wall. It bounced into the Cardinal pen for home run number 2.
Nothing cheap about it. I was very concerned about the way he got out of the box last time. It looked like he was hurt. Then you saw him in the dugout, and he seemed to be moving comfortably. But the way he, not the way he stumbled, but the way he got back up, it looked like he might have turned an ankle. But
we're going to look back at his last at bat.
Take a look. He stumbles there, and look at that. That ankle has turned. Then gets out of it, and maybe a situation where he's not quite sure if he is hurt or not. But that didn't look good. He's okay.
And Carpenter guns down the side. 2-3 go the Bucks. We'll move to inning number 6. 3-1 Pirates.
Sports is sponsored by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day. Let's go.
Jeff Karsten's getting set to face Albert Pujols to start the 6th inning. 3-1 Pirates.
Big inning for Jeff. Looking down the barrel at the big 3. Good start. And the way Carpenter is throwing right now, you know, we used to say 8 is enough about the TV show. 3 might have to be enough against the Redbirds tonight.
Pujols Down 0-2 as Karstens gets in front. The 0-2 pitch. Popped him up. Foul. Harrison by the railing. This is too far out of his reach. Pretty good catch. Otherwise, that would have gone down the steps to where the grounds crew hangs out.
Dan have a shot at that?
Dan had a front row seat.
Good play, and this will be given to a youngster. Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
No shot, Danny?
No, leave me alone. Just leave me alone down here.
You forgot your glove again.
No.
But we know you can make the play if you need to. That's the thing, and you don't want to peak early.
No.
All right.
A 1-ball, 2-strike pitch to Pujols. To right field and deep. And this one is home run number 30 for Albert Pujols.
And wait till you take a look at this pitch location. Looked to me like it was at least away, if not down a little bit, and he has that kind of power to the opposite field. And you hear a lot of booing of the best player in baseball. Strike zone. Out away, he has that kind of power.
It's the 47th home run he has hit here at PNC Park. He far and away leads all opposing players in that category and many other offensive categories. And Karstens has given up his 21st home run. 19 of his 21 home runs against him have been solo home runs.
Yep. You don't want to give up that many, but if you're going to give up that many, that's the type you want to give up. And solo home runs, well, they don't hurt you as much as you might think, because what's the old theory? You hit a home run, it stops the offense momentarily. Everybody's got to start again. So if it costs you 1 run, well, you can live with it to a degree.
Matt Holliday grounds out. Albert Pujols. After the Yadier Molina, catcher who was off tonight. Gives you an idea of the strength of Pujols.
He even heals fast. He was hurt. Thought they might lose him for an extended period of time. He was back quicker than anybody thought.
Lance Berkman takes ball 2.
I really do think he's the best player we have in the game right now. And not everybody shares that opinion, but we're all allowed one.
2-0 pitch. That's outside 3-0. When you put all the offensive categories together, who's better? Well, you got guys in the American League with 33 home runs. A couple of those guys, one with 32, but Berkman walks, and now the tying run is aboard. But as far as Pujols is concerned, over the years, his consistency, he's got over 2,000 base hits now. Show me a guy who's been more consistent.
I can't.
Glenn Hurdle scrambling the bullpen. Fans, you can take advantage of the Pepsi Max Pack this Friday when the Bucks battle the Reds at 7:05. You get an outfield box ticket, a Pepsi product, a hot dog, and a pretzel, all for only $20. For tickets, pirates.com/Pepsi Max.
Very quickly, you saw Clint Hurdle on the phone to the bullpen.
David Freese had a base hit in the 4th. It was an infield single. Ended up being stuck on base, as it turned out. 0-2 now to Freese.
Has hit into 8 double plays.
Right-hander Jason Grilli. He was one of 3 other players, along with Charlie Morton. Visited the Wounded Warriors. Brandon McCutcheon and Brandon Wood, the other 2. And the 0-2 coming to Freese. Just a bit inside.
There was a time where 75-80 or 85-90, I'm not sure which category, was a wall for Jeff Carsons. He has gone well beyond that. He has proven that that is not a wall. So action in the bullpen, not determined by pitch count, I wouldn't guess. More about the fact that it is now a one-run ball game and that free pass issued after the home run and then an out.
Jeff Karsten's looking at pitch number 90. 2-2 to Freeze. Tried to fool him with that slow curve last time. Back is Berkman.
Trust me, there will be a lot of surprised people if Berkman takes off. But not out of the realm of possibility. He is 0 for 4 attempts running.
3-2. Now, if he does take off here, it's just in an effort to get out of the double play or to lessen the chances of having a double play pulled off against them.
Yep. Yeah, changes now with a full count and 1 out.
3-2 Pirates. Top half of the 6th inning, 1 out. And a 3-ball, 2-strike pitch coming up to Freeze. Berkman takes off. And Freeze pokes it down the right field line. This could be trouble. That is trouble. Berkman's going to come around third and score easily, and Freeze has tied the game at 3.
And to add insult to injury, that ball going down the right field corner and not bouncing over the little wall. It stays in play, and that allows Berkman to get all the way around. If it bounces out, of course, there are runners at second and third. Still a tough situation, but the game is not tied yet. And now it is, because that ball does stay in play, and a good piece of hitting by Freeze. Watch the ball stay in play. That's the key. Now it becomes easy for Oquendo. Never easy for Lance, but he gets around.
And that will chase Jeff Karstens out of the ball game. So Karstens leaves. The ball game tied at 3. Jason Grilli coming in for the Pirates. Subscribers from Parkersburg, West Virginia area. Thanks for rooting on your Pittsburgh Pirates and all of us at Root Sports, and the Pirates appreciate your support. Let's go Bucks. Jeff Karstens leaving after 5 1/3. Struck out 5 and still responsible for David Freeze at second base. He might be wondering how this ball was hit down in the corner.
That is unbelievable, because he's got his backside heading back toward the Pirate dugout, and the bat stays out there and plunks it down in the right field corner. So now Grilli on to try to keep it at a 3-3 score. Runner at second base and 1 out. Numbers for Jason. You can see a lot of strikeouts, but some free passes. 14 innings, 10 walks.
Schumacher takes strike 1. Albert Pujols leading the inning off with a solo home run, his 30th. He has now gone 11 straight seasons of 30 or more home runs. That's the longest streak in Major League history to start a career.
Major League history.
Oh, and 2 to Schumacher.
You hear a lot of those things since 1972 or since 1948.
This one is ever.
Ever. Operative word ever, yeah.
Well, the Cardinals are going to have to pony up some money if they want to keep him. That's going to be one of the big stories perhaps in the offseason. Does he stay in St. Louis?
Well, somebody's going to write a big check. We're talking about big checks in the draft. Well, dig your heels in. They're nothing like what somebody's going to write for Albert.
And it would be hard to picture Albert as anything else but a Cardinal. And if he stays a Cardinal, they'll put a statue up outside the stadium for him, along with Musial and all those guys.
Mr. Gibson, Mr. Jack Buck.
0-2 pitch. Walker plays it on a hop. 2 down.
Big out right there.
Freeze down to third safely.
Now, do you walk Laird or do you work to him? Neil, you see him locked in, watching that ball get into the glove. Now just keep your balance after that, and you've got yourself a second out.
So they will put Gerald Laird on and go after the pitcher, Chris Carpenter.
No big surprise.
Carpenter is 0 for 2. He has struck out twice.
Well, you want to keep it right here because Chris Carpenter is dealing right now. He has struck out 4 of the last, 5 batters. Striking out the side in the bottom of the 5th. Keep it right here. Keep it cozy.
Intentional walk in. Laird down to first base. Take a look at the Nissan road ahead tomorrow. Third and final game of this series with the Cardinals. Pirates pregame on the air at 6:30. Then a day off Thursday, and the Reds in town. Friday night, 6:30 for Pirates pregame. Saturday nationally televised. And then Sunday back here, 1 o'clock on Root Sports. Chris Carpenter, runners on the corners, swings and hits a slow roller to Walker. He'll throw him out. He takes care of that. But 2 runs come in, and the home run by Albert Pujols makes it a 3-3 game. More great shots from the AGH cam. McCutchen had a good look at that one. 3-run shot. He hit in the 3rd inning. First time up since then. And it's a new ball game now. At 3-3 between innings. Ray Searage, the pitching coach, and Ryan Domit and Jeff Karstens conversing about what went on.
Ryan saying, what can you do about that ball that Freese hit? It was a great pitch. Meanwhile, Grilly doing a very, very good job keeping it 3-3. Carson's a no decision. Jeff goes 5 1/3, 3 earned runs on 6 hits, a couple of walks, 5 strikeouts.
And Jeff will have to wait till his next turn to try to get win number 10. 1-1. Up high, 2 balls and a strike. Yesterday, James McDonald picked up the win over Jake Westbrook. McDonald now 8-6. He is creeping closer to 10 wins. And a base hit for McCutchen.
So now you wonder about the running game. You got a tie ball game. We know that Gerald Laird has struggled throwing the ball to second base. McCutchen has good speed. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. They'll keep a close eye on him, and we'll see what develops, if anything. Andrew right on that ball. Good looking swing. Nothing wrong with having the leadoff runner on in a tie ball game.
Carpenter will throw to first, and diving back is McCutchen. McCutchen with 19 stolen bases.
Let the games begin between pitcher, catcher, and base runner. To throw out a good base runner, McCutchen is a good base runner, you need coordinated efforts between a pitcher and a catcher. The pitcher has to give his catcher a chance to throw the man out at second base. If he doesn't do his job, the catcher can do nothing about it. It starts with the pitcher.
Domit takes the 0-1 the other way. Diving stop by Freese, and they get McCutchen.
What a play. What a play by David Freese.
That is a big time play by Freese, taking what might have been an opposite field single away from Ryan Domit. Playing him way off the line in the hole, and still had to make a play like that to take a hit away.
Somewhat of a shift, and then was able to make a legitimate throw from his knees, falling back down. That's a big time catch, and a very good job delivering the ball accurately and with some pop on it to second base.
Domit aboard on the fielder's choice.
Certainly not as much chance for Ryan to be running unless they put him in motion thinking they've got to push. Hit and run, run and hit, that kind of thing.
Walker the other way. Matt Holliday under it. 2 down. Neil 2 for 3.
Not much action offensively for the Pirates since the McCutchen home run. Base hit by Walker, and then this big base hit by McCutchen. That's been about it. You need a majestic double as the Majestic comes down the Allegheny.
There she is.
Out of the Gateway Clipper fleet.
And second base, Schumacher. And Jones is up. And Chris Carpenter walks off the field after throwing just 8 pitches. 3-3 after 6.
Levin Furniture, home of the Tempur-Pedic, the most recommended mattress in America. Let's go Bucks!
Pretty night in Pittsburgh. Looking over the Allegheny River back into PNC Park with Dan Potash and Steve Blass. I'm Tim Neverett. Glad you're watching Pirates baseball with us tonight. Top of the seventh, 3-3. And John Jay, the top of the order, up against right-hander Jason Grilli.
Yep, 3-inning ball game we're looking at.
Pirates had a 3-run lead, or 3-1 lead, that is, after the 3-run home run by McCutchen in the third. Cardinals took a 1-0 lead in the second. Double by Matt Holliday. It was actually a line drive right at Andrew McCutchen. He misread it, came in on it, ball went over his head, and Holliday ended up coming around to score. A 2-out base hit by Schumacher. 2-1 to Jay. Well, the little things, and you know, you say the little things, but don't say that in front of Clint Hurdle, because he'll tell you no, there's nothing little. They always turn into big things. Everything's a big thing.
That was a big deal right there to get Mr. Jay to swing at a ball that probably would have created a 3-1 count. Even at 2-2 for Jason Grilli. He's had a degree of control issue. Good to get that second strike right there. 3-3 ball game, tie ball game. You don't want the leadoff man to get a free pass.
Full count to John Jay. In case you missed it from Subway, the Boston Red Sox turn a triple play in the fourth inning in game 2 of their doubleheader against the Rays. Second in 2 days. The Brewers had one last night,
but it was complicated. This one was simple.
Down the left field side, and that one is out of play.
There was an area code attached to that one last night. Yeah. 6-4-3-2 or something like that.
It was the first one, incidentally, since 1972, since the Expos turned one in 1972, that was recorded that way. 6-4-3-2 or 4-6-3-2.
Hope it wasn't against the Pirates.
No. And 3-2 coming to John Jay.
Fights it off.
In fact, a Pittsburgher started that triple play last night. Josh Wilson was playing second base for Milwaukee. So the Red Sox turn one tonight, and the guy on deck, Rafael Furcal, will hit next. Turned an unassisted triple play at one time in his career. August during the 2003 season.
We had a Western Pennsylvania guy turn one unassisted against the Pirates, Mickey Morandini, back in the day. Dirty trick to do that against your hometown team,
isn't it? 3-2 to Jay, and the payoff again from Jason Grilli.
Got my research team working on who.
Line drive, and Walker stumbled out of the blocks. Otherwise, he might have had a clean shot at that ball. Instead, it's a base hit. Leadoff single for John Jay starts the seventh, and the Cardinals have the go-ahead run on base.
Fouls a lot of pitches away, and then gets a line shot, and just out of the reach of Neil Walker.
Just didn't get a good first step. Seemed to stumble a bit. Third baseman Harrison comes way in on the grass, expecting for call to perhaps lay one down here.
Pirates looking for a commitment.
For call came over from the Dodgers.
Commitment's a hard thing for a lot of young men.
Walker's got it. Throws to Grilli covering. He'll get at least one out. That'll move Jay up into scoring position.
Good job for Grilli to get over there. Kind of a complicated play. A lot of things going on. First baseman going one way, second baseman coming the other. And as a pitcher, you can't stand there and watch it.
Last time up for Albert Pujols. He gets a little bit high in the count against Jeff Karstens. There's 0-2.
Doesn't look like we're going to see an at bat for Albert, or are we? There's that at bat. There's this at bat.
Pujols hit his 30th home run, leads all National Leaguers. 11 straight seasons with 30 or more home runs. Nobody's done that ever in the game to start their major league career.
So they will work around him. It doesn't get much easier with Matt Holliday and Lance Berkman waiting. The Cardinals right about where they want to be in the batting order here in the 7th inning of a tie game.
Pujols will take his spot down at first base.
15 double plays hit into by Holliday. Not even close to Albert. Albert's hit into 25. He's in first base.
Matt Holliday was nicknamed by Clint Hurdle Big Daddy while he was with the Rockies, and Clint was his manager. That name kind of stuck while he was there. Didn't really follow him when he went to the Oakland A's and then now to St. Louis. Two on, one out. And a swing and a miss.
We're all familiar with our Big Daddy, retired in this area, Rick Russell. Great major league career for Big Daddy. Good guy, good pitcher, good man.
Could also hit.
Yep, good athlete, good golfer. Takes a lot of money with a very, very, very questionable handicap.
There's Resop warming up. Have you donated to the Big Daddy Fund?
I have, reluctantly.
John Jay has good speed. He's in scoring position. Pujols behind him, and Matt Holliday at the plate.
And the Pirates looking for that ground ball. Both Cedeno and Walker really playing well up the middle.
Foul tip. And strike two. Domick got the worst of that.
When you look at this alignment, you got Walker and Cedeno. It leaves some open areas in there, but they're clearly set up for him to try to hit the ball in the middle. Not only that, but be prepared for the pivot at second base to get a double play and get out of this mess.
Jason Grilli getting his sign from Domick. Jay off of second base. Pujols off of first. Oh, they felt Grilli took too much time. And the 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Little teaser, high fastball. See if he'll chase upstairs. Designed to get his sight line up there and maybe go back downstairs with some kind of breaking ball. High to low. Not yet.
Again, a look back at Jay.
Not much wiggle room for John Jay at second base with our middle infielders playing up the middle, shading that way, both of them.
Ready for the 1-2 pitch. And foul off.
Good job by Holliday to stay alive after he does come back downstairs after the high fastball try. It's a good pitch. You will get lots of swings and misses at that pitch. Or would have been a big second out, but still a possibility. He stays ahead in the count, 1-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes. One thing about Holiday's swing is he covers a lot of that hitting zone. Gets that barrel out in front.
Yep, the big wingspan.
Seems like he can stay back a little longer than a lot of hitters. But still gets good extension and gets the barrel on the ball. 2-2 from Grilli to Holiday. And now the count full. So Grilli not where he wants to be at this point, but still with a pitch to work with. And Lance Berkman on deck.
Yep. Seemed like not so long ago it was a 1-2 count. Trying to stay away from the power, and you almost think he's got to stay with a fastball here. I would think that Holiday is thinking along those lines. Dangerous situation.
Payoff. Well, he'll turn and face second instead. Is that a scouting mission? See if maybe they had something cooking.
Yeah.
Right here, though, 1 out.
Maybe. You never know with Tony. You might send him. But do you go with your second best pitch for Jason is the breaking ball? Or do you stay with your bread and butter, which is a fastball, which you think Holiday might be looking and sitting on? He goes to the breaking ball.
Right to Cedeno. Flips
Nice.
to Walker for 1. Double play.
How about that play? Way to go, Ronnie. Nicely done in between hop. Great double play. Couldn't have come at a better time. Cedeno comes up huge on this play. This ball is hit well, and the in-between hop right there. Ronnie stays with it, and the shovel to Neil. Boy, that's pretty.
We invite you now to stand and join everyone.
Worth another look. 6-4-3. Couldn't have come at a better time.
Time for the 7th inning stretch as we take you out to the ball game at PNC Park. Inning.
Boy, when they announced Ronnie Cedeno, he should get a nice round of applause. He made a terrific play there. Big part of the ball game. Ronnie Cedeno came up big.
Outstanding with the glove. Let's see if he can get it going with the bat here in the 7th.
Ronnie at times is kind of a lightning rod. He takes a lot of heat, but you see that athletic ability that he has, and he can make those exceptional plays.
Carpenter dealing the 0-1. And Cedeno fouls it out of play on the right side. He has a tendency to do that now with 2 strikes. Trying to get the bat on the ball, foul a few off. And he is able to go to right field often.
Yeah, he's picking up the program that Freddie Sanchez had. A lot of foul balls on the right field line.
And he fouled that one, but right into the glove of Gerald Laird for a strikeout. Talked about Cedeno and Walker playing up the middle, and it paid off on this twin kill.
Yep, that ball was hit well, and that in-between hop makes it difficult. So he has to get the ball and then find a way to get the ball to Neil Walker. That's just a top-notch major league play. And the degree of difficulty is caused by the fact that the line drive didn't get all the way to him and was close enough where he had to take it in an awkward position and still get the ball to second base in time.
Strike one to Josh Harrison.
Looks like we're going to need something dramatic off Chris Carpenter. He has been rock solid tough since the 3-run home run.
0-2 to Harrison.
One of those pitchers where, the old adage, if you get him, you got to get him early, because the longer he goes, the tougher he gets, and the good ones are like that.
Carpenter staring in at Laird. Now the 0-2 to Harrison. Got him. Ninth strikeout for Carpenter. Let's take a look at our AGH Sports Medicine injury update. Pitcher Rudy Owens is on the 7-day minor league deal with left shoulder inflammation. An MRI yesterday was performed in Pittsburgh. No structural damage came out of that, so that was the good news out of the MRI. Pirates minor league pitcher each of the last 2 seasons. Rudy Owens, the subject of our Allegheny General Hospital Sports Medicine injury update tonight. Matt Diaz fouls it off as Diaz pinch hits in the pitcher spot. 9th in the order.
Great job by Jason Grilly as the dust settles over an inning and 2/3 of scoreless relief.
Strike 2 to Diaz. And Carpenter pumping in strikes now, one after the other. He struck out the side in the 7th. And has struck out, rather in the 5th, for his 7th strikeout. And here in the 7th, he has struck out the first 2. Nothing in 2 to Matt Diaz facing Chris Carpenter. Takes low, ball 1. He's only had 3 outs recorded in the air. He struck out 9, 8 of them on the ground. And did he go?
No. I'm hoping.
Well, I'm glad you cleared that up. Let's slow it down for you.
Carpenter nowhere near his career high of 13 strikeouts recorded against the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Full count to Diaz now.
Back about 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Diaz with 3 hits in his last 10 at bats. Top of the order, Jose Tabata on deck. Payoff pitch. And Diaz got a piece of it. Chris Carpenter, 8-8 coming into play tonight. 3-time All-Star. Won the Cy Young Award in 2005.
That might have been the 21-5 year. Yeah. Approaching 100 pitches. Very quiet bullpen, as you might expect. He was hurt by 1 pitch. I mean, significantly hurt. The McCutchen home run. Other than that, he has been very good.
The 3-2. And he struck him out. Carpenter now with 10 strikeouts in the game, and the second time in the last 3 innings he has struck out the side. Matt Diaz having words with home plate umpire Jerry Meals. Looks like, according to the strike zone, it was just off the plate. So we go to the 8th, all even at 3. The Pirates host the Reds at 1:35. It's another Kids Day. All kids 14 and under get Alvarez and Tabata book covers, courtesy of Viva and Giant Eagle. Come early for the #1 Cochran Kids Fun Zone on Federal Street. And then stay late after the game. Kids get to run the bases thanks to H.K. Anderson Pretzels. To get your tickets, visit Pirates.com today. Brandon Wood enters for Josh Harrison. He'll bat in the 8th spot. And the new pitcher for the Pirates, inserted in the 9 spot, is Jose Veras.
His numbers. Now we're down to a 2-inning ball game, and wouldn't it be ironic if this game went into extra innings with Jerry Meals behind the plate?
Ironic's one word you could use.
Yep.
I could think of a few others. I'd rather not say. So Veras pitching to Berkman. Delivers ball 1. Jose pitched an inning and a third of hitless and scoreless relief in last night's series opener.
Berkman on the side of the plate that he prefers, over 300 from this side, well under 300 as a right-hand batter.
As a switch hitter, he has put up some big numbers. He's among the all-time switch hitters in terms of home runs.
And of his 28, 24 from the side.
Yeah, 4th all-time among switch hitters and home runs, 355. Right by him. 91. We've seen Veras crank it up to 95 and 96. That wasn't his best fastball, but it was good enough to beat Berkman on that pitch. The big man, Jose Veras, facing Lance Berkman. Nobody on, nobody out. 2-2. Popped him up right side.
Out in front of the breaking ball.
Neil Walker will take care of it. One gone for the Cardinals in the 8th.
Big out there to get away from that home run threat in a tie ball game in the 8th inning.
Well, David Freese will stand in against Veras. Freese 2 for 3. Infield single in the 4th, and he came up with a run scoring double in the 6th. Got Lance Berkman around when he hit a pitch that was low and away. Just reached for it and poked it down into the right field corner. Veras getting ahead with a breaking ball, which he will do often against right-handed hitters.
And that's the pitch he just got Lance Berkman out with.
Veras off the hill. Not going to get it. Here's Wood. He won't get it. And Freese has his 3rd base hit.
Little chop. Right-hand pitchers have a tendency to follow through toward first base. You see Jose not able to just stop the follow through in time. Tough thing for a right-hand pitcher to do. All your exertion is coming from that side, and it wants to pull you over to first base in your follow through. Ball winds up in no man's land. Would they turn Freese loose here in a tie ball game in the 8th inning? Pirates will pay a good bit of attention. Cedena wants to talk with Veras.
And there will be a pinch runner. Daniel Descalso will come out and run for David Freese. Descalso also an infielder. Will go in for him defensively as well. So the go-ahead run on board for the Cardinals. See what Tony La Russa decides to do here with 1 out. Skip Schumacher batting in the 7th spot.
Couple of steals for Descalso.
Throw by Veras over there, skipping back. There's the Cardinal pinch runner. Schumacher drove in a run back in the second inning. He got Matt Holliday around after Holliday's leadoff double. Then he's 0 for 2, 1 for 3 on the night.
Figure out another ground ball at somebody perhaps here.
Pitch to Schumacher now. Strike. Good fastball. Oh, and 1 to Descalso. I beg your pardon, to Schumacher. Descalso at first. And on the grass at third is Wood, and Veras ready to deliver. Descalso off of first. And the 0-1. Foul back, 0-2. Pirates have been involved in some tight ball games lately. I think of 2 in particular on the road in Milwaukee, and on the road trip winning 2 in San Francisco, but they have certainly had their battles lately in close ball games. Well, they've got their Jolly Rogers. Breaking ball.
He knew it.
Thanks for coming.
The hook. But looking for the fastball. Uh-oh. Wasn't looking for that.
That's when you just have to take your seat.
Yep.
Gerald Laird with 2 men out now. And Descalso at first base. And the pitch. Curveball in for a strike. Now, at what point?
Jose's got the hook working.
Captain Hook. Carpenter on deck, but at one point, do you try to get the go-ahead run in scoring position here with 2 outs, knowing that the pitcher's on deck? Did you expect Descalso to be on the run here?
Well, you do have a swing and a miss type pitcher in Veras. He's inching out there.
And Laird lines one to the gap. Cut off by Tabata. Throwing behind the runner and holding Laird at first base. So runners at the corners now and 2 down.
Carpenter is called back. The evening ends for Chris Carpenter. That might be good news for the Pirates to get into the St. Louis bullpen.
Carpenter all done, getting high fives. And the batter will be Corey Patterson. Patterson picked up from the Blue Jays in a trade that sent Colby Rasmus the other way. Ray Searage will come out and visit with Jose Veras. And the whole infield in now to talk about what they plan on doing. 2 men are out. 2 men are on for Patterson. He's got the go-ahead run at third, and the pinch runner, Daniel Descalso, and Gerald Laird with a long single at first base. Pirates will take on the Cincinnati Reds this Friday at 7:05. It's a free shirt Friday. All fans through the gates get a Pirates t-shirt featuring 2011 National League All-Star Andrew McCutchen, courtesy of Augustine's Pizza. For tickets, visit pirates.com/free shirt Friday. McCutchen has had a big hand in the score so far. Hopes to make an impact in his next at bat too. 186 career as a pinch hitter. He struck out 32 times. Veras Looking in at Corey Patterson,
who did some damage against the Pirates as a Chicago Cub with the long ball. Cubs.
Strike one.
There's the hook.
Jason Mott ready in the bullpen for the Cardinals. 3-3, top of the eighth, 2 on, 2 out. Patterson hitting for the pitcher Carpenter. Swing and a miss. Strike two.
Okay, 2 curveballs. Let's see how this plays out. Out in front with the breaking ball. First 2 pitches as Patterson way over top of that curve. Way over the top.
Missed it by a foot.
Now do you try to bury a curveball even lower so you can chase that, or maybe go up high with a 90-plus fastball? You've got that luxury of either one. Now they try to bury it downstairs.
And Laird will take off for second base. And he will be credited with a steal.
Get him to bite.
First stolen base on the season, incidentally, for Gerald Laird. So second and third, 2 down. And Veras with the 1-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Dome it. Throw down to first. Strikeout. 2-3. The put out. Pirates need to get the bats going now as we head to the bottom of the eighth inning of a 3-3 game. Top of the order due up. Jose Tabata, Xavier Paul, and Andrew McCutchen. McCutchen came through with a 3-run drive in the third. Can he do it again?
Pirates Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Mazda. Mazda, zoom, zoom. Let's go, Bucks.
Changes for the Cardinals. Stan Descalso came into pinch run for Freese. Stays in and plays third base. And the new pitcher is right-hander Jason Mott. Takes over for the starter, Chris Carpenter. He'll face the top of the Pirates order in a 3-3 game, bottom of the eighth. Tabata will take a strike.
I think the Pirates handed him a loss the last time the Redbirds were in Pittsburgh. The 10th inning loss.
That was when Xavier Paul came around to score the winning run on the 24th of July.
Unearned run, but it counts.
They always do, don't they?
Yeah. That's the good news for the Pirates. The bad news is that Mott has not given up an earned run since June 24th.
Yeah, Chase Darno had a sacrifice fly that ended up scoring Xavier Paul for the game winner. One and two to Jose Tabata.
He gets it to home plate quickly, 98 miles an hour on that last fastball. 47 innings, 44 strikeouts. This power pitcher.
A converted catcher.
It's tough to run on, I bet. Watch out. That one
skipped up into the seats, just over the Cardinal dugout. Got up there in an awful hurry. Joel Hanrahan loosening up. He is hoping the Pirates can get a run. Jose Veras with another effective job. 2 nights in a row, Veras has gotten it done. Up in a tough situation with a go-ahead run at third, and another behind him in scoring position. Goes to the breaking ball, gets Patterson to chase, strikes out.
Does he ever get him to chase a bad ball? Good job by Ryan Doumit. Strike to first base, inning over. Well, you really saw that Patterson was not handling the breaking ball well early in the at bat. Just kept spinning it up there. Got him to chase a very, very low pitch. Might have bounced on the plate or in front. Good job by Ryan.
On most nights, Veras' curveball's deadly. 2-2, and Tabata skies it to right. There's Berkman. 1 out. Check out some news from the minors tonight. Ross Ollendorf, 7 innings for AAA Indianapolis, 5 strikeouts. There's 2 earned runs, and a 2-2 tie in the 8th inning with the Louisville Bats. Altoona in New Hampshire tied at 1 in the 8th.
Marte still hot.
Yeah, he has been red hot, hasn't he? And Bradenton leading Charlotte. That would be Port Charlotte, which is just to the south of Bradenton, about an hour plus. Robbie Grossman 2 for 3. It's Port Charlotte when you're on the freeway, but on the highway there, but everyone there just calls it Charlotte.
Okay. Heading down I-75.
Well, you know, you've been going down there for 40 years.
That's right. I've seen a lot of Port Charlotte. Saw it when the Rangers were down there with Nolan Ryan.
Ripped down to first. Easy play for Pujols.
Hard hit.
And 2 out for the Pirates in the 8th.
We used to go down to Port Charlotte and just try to get there early enough where we could watch Nolan Ryan throwing a side session in between his appearances.
You just had to listen for it. You didn't even have to watch it.
Yeah.
So here is Andrew McCutchen. He is 2 for 3, a 3-run home run. He had a base hit in the 6th. First time up in the 1st. Grounded out to the shortstop outfield for a call.
Well, 3 1/3 innings of scoreless relief for the Pirate bullpen last night. That helped, even though the Pirates had a sizable lead. Being called upon to do it again here tonight.
Two seasons ago, when the Cardinals were looking at Mott, they were looking at him as a closer. They thought that he would be the closer they could keep for a while. They liked his arm action. They liked the velocity, and as far as the velocity goes, what's not to like? But he got lit up early. And Tony La Russa moving him down a couple of pegs in the bullpen.
Well, you got to get Andrew on here and see if he can steal second. Get yourself a relatively inexpensive run. That's a script.
And McCutchen walks. Something Andrew has done quite well this year. He's been being patient at the plate. He has now walked for the 67th time this year.
And usually, Tim, a rule of thumb, it doesn't apply all the time, but usually your relief guys or your relief guys aren't as quick over to first base. accomplished moves. Some of them are. You find an occasional guy out of the pen that has a quick move, but as a rule, that's not their strength. You know, Andrew already with a decent lead. Everybody in the ballpark, I think, would be surprised if he didn't take off.
Long pause by Mott.
And he's going to stand there. He was going to be a statue just to see if anything's going to happen, or Andrew might commit early. Everybody in the, well, all three, sounds like a crowd, all three outfielders deep. Well, not a bad move, and emphasized by the fact that he throws it just as hard to first base as he does to home plate. And you know, the other side of that coin about Andrew running too, this guy is a swing and miss type pitcher, so get that factor to deal with on the negative side.
Nothing in one to dome it.
So the bottom line here, get Ryan to catch a corner down the left field line, down the right field line. Let Andrew run.
Dome at 4 for 4 last night. He had a 3-run homer. 0 for 3 tonight.
You're going to see a lot of heat. You're not going to see a lot of subtle deliveries from Mott.
There goes McCutchen. Pitches in the dirt. Throw down, not in time. And stolen base number 20 for Andrew McCutchen. And he is in scoring position with 2 down.
No surprise whatsoever. Move, good jump. Oh, really good throw by Laird. A loose baseball. Now Laird wants to make sure of the signs with Mott. Got to make sure they have that covered. Now the outfielders will now come in and see if they can get to a single quick enough to have a play at home plate, or maybe make Andrew hold up at third, which is unlikely. I would think Nick Leva would be very aggressive with any base hit to the outfield.
You got to think Dolmetz's hunting fastball right now. He was, and he fouled it off.
Now he's in a position like a lot of hitters find themselves in against Joel Hanrahan, knowing he can throw it 98 miles an hour and knowing you have to get the bat started early. And if you do, and he pulls a string and throws you an off-speed pitch, he's got the advantage. See how it plays out. These flamethrowers, it makes it very difficult because you have to start your swing early. Get out of it.
Popped him up, and Scalzo by the railing. Good thing his arm wasn't another 2 feet longer. Let's take a look at the Meadows Racetrack and Casino scoreboard. Brewers and Dodgers even at a run apiece. Nationals have beaten the Reds. Comes on top of the Astros in the 5th. Diamondbacks have been hot. Lyle Overbay, now a Diamondback, had a couple of hits in that game. And some Padres still to come. Two balls and 2 strikes. Diamondbacks getting the better of Philadelphia. Lyle Overbay, a big part of that tonight. 3 hits. And he's driven in 3 runs, all 3 Arizona runs. Up in the air to right field. And Schumacher backpedaling. Will end the Pirate threat. And we'll go to the 9th inning at PNC Park. Pirates and Cardinals tied at 3. Brought to you by Subway. Jay Brzezinski placed on the DL. First time in 14 years he has been on the disabled list. Jonathan Sanchez also headed for some trouble. Sprained left ankle for the Giants. Left the game tonight in the third. John Lester, 7 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts against the Rays. That was in game 1 of the doubleheader. Rays leading 3-2 in game 2 late. Randall Delgado, no-hit bid broken up in the 7th by Cody Ross on a solo home run. Just his second career major league start. Randall Delgado making it look easy early on.
Joel Hanrahan on to work for the Pirates. And just about everybody from this crowd of 20,943 hanging around. We're down to a 1-inning ball game. Harris, scoreless inning with a couple of hits and a couple of strikeouts.
John Jay takes low and in.
I think we're going to start playing Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer when Joel comes in.
That could be one of them. Or Inflatable Hammer. That's a fair ball. And this will be trouble. Jay can run. And he is into second safely with a leadoff double.
How about that chop just inside the chalk? Good look at it from this angle. Well, almost on the chalk, just over third base. Playing off the line. And now they'll look at for Kyle to bunt.
Furcal squares, pulls it back and takes a ball.
Sometimes the high fastball with a lot of heat on it can be one of the tougher pitches to try to bunt. Get the bat up there and get it squared. Many times you'll go up and you'll hit the bottom half of the ball and pop it up, foul it back.
Gets it down third
perfectly.
And Wood throws him out. Walker covering. And now the go-ahead run is at third base with 1 out for Albert Pujols.
Perfect run.
So tough job now for Hanrahan. The infield's going to come in. And earlier, very strong man. Home run number 30 as he went to the opposite field.
Well, set up the double play, get on the other side of him, and do the right thing by setting up a situation where he can escape with a ground ball.
Well, the only option here with Pujols, and then you pick your poison. Matt Holliday coming up next. But Holliday, the last time in the 7th inning, this formula worked out. Holliday hit into the inning-ending 6-4-3 double play. A spectacular start to the double play off the short hop by Ronnie Cedeno. So Albert down to first. Here comes Holliday. .368 with runners in scoring position. And for Hanrahan, needs to make sure that run at third stays at third. First pitch to Holliday. A little chopper foul.
Well, now you need the strikeout man to come up big and get a strikeout. Take the double play, obviously the ground ball, but Joel Hanrahan is a strikeout man.
Holliday waits for the 0-1 pitch, and Hanrahan gets a sign from Doman. Runners off the corners, and now the 0-1. Foul tipped into the mid of Doman. Strike 2. 97 on the gun. That's bringing some heat. See, San Francisco and Atlanta have gone into extra innings now, 1-1 in the 10th. Oh, 2 to Holiday. Up in the air to center field. Jay will tag at third. McCutchen to catch. And the Cardinals lead it 4-3. Matt Holliday with 2 strikes got the ball up in the air. And his sacrifice fly scores Jay. 64th run batted in for Holliday.
Slider not quite far enough out. Joe will tell you he would like to have gotten that further out. Try to get him to chase a bad pitch further outside. Didn't quite get it out there.
And that ends a string of 14 straight appearances for Joel Hanrahan without being charged for a run. Well, Berkman 1 ball, no strikes. And a ground ball to second. Walker takes care of him, but before that happens, Jay comes across on the fly ball by Holliday. And now the Pirates need 1 to tie, 2 to win. Field not very happy with what had just transpired prior to that, giving up a run, ending a string of 14 straight scoreless appearances. And not just any run, the go-ahead run. 4-3 Cardinals as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Fernando Salas, the closer, will come on for St. Louis.
22 saves out of 25 chances. Joel probably as upset about that slider that he didn't get quite as far outside as he wanted to as anything. Really couldn't do much about the leadoff double. That was a chop ground ball. Those things happen. But 0-2, I would think that he'd tell you he'd like to get that slider further outside.
Skip Schumacher moves to right field. Yadier Molina comes in to catch. And Ryan Theriot is at second base. So defensive changes for Tony La Russa in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Salas with those 60 strikeouts in 57 innings.
And Walker rips it deep to right center field. And it is off the top of the wall. Gone! Just like that, a game tire. Neil Walker's 10th home run. It's 4-4.
Just a matter of height. He got a lot of it. Was it going to carry and stay high enough?
It did. That is his first home run in exactly a month.
Right in that go zone for left-hand batters, like to get down and give the ball a ride. Walking my baby back home. And he hit kind of the bottom half of the ball to have that backspin to give him the carry also. Similar to what Schumacher did, or excuse me, yep, Holiday did back in the second inning. Got under the ball, got the bottom half, that creates the backspin that has carry. Hello.
New ball game again. Look at the ball on the left side, just barely clearing the wall.
Got to carry that green padded top of the fence. Home run number 6 given up by their closer.
He has given up some late inning home runs to the opposition. He gave up a home run to Brandon Phillips in Cincinnati earlier this year. And another to Jose Pagano of the Mets. From the splash cam, let's watch the flight of the ball. There comes the payoff to Jones. And that's into center field, a base hit. And the Pirates with the winning run aboard in the ninth.
Now, Cedeno conferring with Leyva. You got to expect a bunt. I don't think there's any way. And Salas frustrated that he didn't make that play. Ball coming back through the middle. So a couple problems for the Cardinal closer. The home run and then the base hit that might have been a 1-3 play. And you got an amped up crowd here at PNC Park.
Salas' first pitch to Ronnie Cedeno.
No bunt.
He takes the ball.
We'll check now with Nick Leyva. Okay.
0 for 3 tonight for Ronnie.
Cardinals trying to find out if it's a pitch-by-pitch situation. Now, Leyva wants to talk to Ronnie Cedeno.
St. Louis with 21 blown saves after Salas blew this one tonight. St. Louis trailing Washington by 2. Houston, Atlanta, and Colorado also on the list.
Cardinals certainly expecting the bunt.
And Cedeno puts it down. Salas throws to Terrio covering. And now the Pirates with one out have the winning run in scoring position.
That's the way he put down a bunt. Just deadens the ball. And Salas kind of waiting till Terrio got over there. A little hesitation. You never know if that's going to disrupt things, but a perfect throw as it turned out.
And Brandon Wood with a strike on him. Neil Walker tied this one up with a leadoff home run, his first home run since the 16th of July in Houston, and his first home run at this ballpark since the 5th of June. And that was against Philadelphia, I believe. Wood up in the air. Right field to Schumacher. Nowhere to go for Jones. And Clint Hurdle will go to the bench here and bring up a pinch hitter, former Cardinal Ryan Ludwig.
And will the Cardinals pitch to him?
First base open. That's a very good question. That run means nothing at first. If they were to decide to walk him here,
I'm guessing they don't pitch to him. But no.
Molina crouches down behind the plate
and took a look over to the dugout.
They're going to pitch to Ludwig. And Ludwig drives it to left field, right at Holiday. And we are going to extra innings. We're heading to extras because of the bat of Neil Walker. With his third hit of the night, it was a home run, his 10th of the year. As he cracked one out of here to make it a 4-4 game. Umpire Jerry Meals wanted was an extra innings game involving the Pirates. We go back the 26th of July into the 27th, the morning of. Scott Proctor, the ground ball. Julio Lugo out at the plate as it was acknowledged by baseball afterward. And that ended a 19-inning marathon, the longest game in both the Pirates and Braves histories. Jerry Meals certainly had a difficult time with it. And tonight back behind the plate. And here we are in extra innings. Extra innings on Root Sports presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky all season long. Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side.
Chris Resop coming out to work here in the top of the 10th.
They'll face Descalso. Came in as a pinch runner for David Freese. And Descalso takes a strike from Resop. And the 0-1. Fouled off, 0-2. The Pirates will have the top of the order up in the bottom of the 10th. Right here, Descalso, Schumacher. Looks like Terrio, who came in the 8th spot with Molina in the 9th spot. Strike three, Risa fans Descalso, and there's one out on the Cardinal 10th.
Good start, the extra innings for Chris Risa. The pitch on the outside part of the plate. Cardinals with 10 hits, 4 runs, and they have left 10 on bases. So the Pirates, it might not seem like it with the way they've scored, but the Pirates have gotten some big outs when they've needed them to keep it where it is.
Want to notice Skip Schumacher. Schumacher started at second base. He's now in right field as an RBI single tonight. 1-0 pitch. Now the count is even.
And there's 3 different innings where the Cardinals left 2 men on base. 4th, 6th, and 8th.
Risa shaking off Domit. That's the strike. Foul tip into the glove of Domit. 1-2. How about that? The Atlanta Braves are in extra innings. What a coincidence. And that is to Wood. The throw, got it.
What a recovery.
Oh, that's how you hang with it.
What a recovery. Hope every little leaguer saw that one. You don't quit if it clanks off the glove. The bounce into the glove, back into the throwing hand, and the quick release to first base. 5-3.
So 2 outs, and the batter is the new second baseman Ryan Theriot. He's behind 0-1. Good start to the inning for Chris Risa. Theriot not much of a home run threat. Just the 1 on the season. And now he's behind 0-2. So Risa back up on top of the hill here. 0-2 to Theriot. Nobody on. 4-4, top of the 10th. Risa wanted it.
Strike zone. Outside.
Well, Jerry Meals and Clint Hurdle now barking at one another.
See that, and that's the it's the tough angle from a dugout. Not saying that Clint's not justified, but from the dugout, it's easier to kind of take a look at height, up or down, inside and outside. Not as easy to pick up.
Cedeno throws him out, and a clean top of the 10th for Chris Risa. Cardinals done in order. Top of the order due up for the Pirates. Leadoff man Jose Tabata will hit first in the bottom of the 10th inning of a 4-4 game. Game 2 of a 3-game set. Pirates and Cardinals. Bucks took game 1 last night. And Salas remains on the mound for St. Louis.
Don't need base runners, need base runners, singular. Only takes one.
Pirates had the winning run on board in the bottom of the 9th after Walker's home run tied it. Jones had a base hit. Was sacrificed to second, but Bucks couldn't get him around. 0-2. Some bonus baseball tonight from the Bird. Xavier Paul in the on-deck circle, and Andrew McCutchen will follow. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jose Tabata activated today from the 15-day disabled list. Strained his left quad on the 27th of June. 2-2.
And we'll do it again tomorrow night. Paul Maholm and Kyle Loesch.
Salas 2-2 delivery. That is low. 3-2.
Base runner.
Full count to Jose Tabata. Jose was very anxious to get back in the lineup. Very happy to be back. Here comes the payoff. That's ball 4. And the Bucks with the winning run aboard here in the 10th.
Now Salas signaling to who is going to be covering on a ground ball, but I would think that he's going to be involved in the bunt attempt.
Xavier Paul handles the bat pretty well as far as the bunt goes. Throw to first base, and Tabata has to skip back.
And Salas quite quick to first base.
0 for 4 tonight for Xavier. Looking to have a very purposeful at bat here. Be productive in other ways. Puts the bunt down foul. There's strike 1 on Paul.
I'll tell you one thing, Salas was in on that ball as quick or quicker than his corner guys.
Tabata is going to have to hurry to get to second base if that's going to be the case. Salas is going to go after the ball like that.
Scalzo already several steps in on the grass at third base. Andrew will be holding it first until the ball is released. Did I say Andrew? Albert.
Jose Tabata turned 23 last week. And the pitch out. Ball 1, 1-1. Barrett wants a win. Wants a win every night.
Yep.
I'll put the hex.
Hardest working bird at PNC Park.
Perfect. Nice bunt. And now the winning run in scoring position. Good sacrifice by Xavier Paul. Tabata down to second.
A couple of great sacrifice bunts. Daniel last inning, and now Xavier just deadens the ball just up on the grass. Nowhere to go but first base. Good speed at second. Good hitter at the plate.
They will walk McCutchen to get to Doman.
Still good hitter at the plate.
With one out, the Cardinals will put a man on to try to create a forced play. Ryan Doman just waiting in the on-deck circle. Standing there with a hand on a hip, leaning on his bat.
They're hanging in, waiting for a Bucco win.
Now to first goes McCutchen. Xavier Paul put the bunt down. They've got Tabata in the scoring position. Now Tony La Russa will come out, and you'd think he'd go to Arthur Rhodes here and try to turn Doman around, make him bat right-handed. And Doman anticipating that goes and gets the helmet for the other side. So pitching change at PNC Park. 4-4 in the bottom of the 10th. Here comes Arthur Rhodes. Flashback last May 23rd against the Atlanta Braves. Takashi Saito delivered, and so did Ryan Doman with a walk-off home run. It was in the 10th inning. He's done it before. Can he do it again? If he does, he'll have to do it right-handed as he faces the veteran Arthur Rhodes. Pirates with 2 on in the bottom of the 10th. And the one that means the most, standing at second base, that's Jose Tabata.
Rhodes gave up 5 or 6 home runs. Let me check that. 6 home runs, I think, in his work in the American League. We don't need the home run, but that'll tell you that some pretty good contact has been made from this veteran. He's been through this before. This will be career appearance number 884. He's been up and down the street and around the block.
Doman hitting .308 against left-handers. 8 out of 26 with a pair of homers. On the disabled list on the 30th of May with a left ankle fracture, reinstated on August 3rd.
Rhodes a cameo appearance last night, going the 3rd of an inning.
And Doman fouls it away. Strike 1. Career as a right-handed hitter, lower than as a left-handed hitter, but he's had fewer at-bats right-handed all in all.
Not expecting Ryan to pull the ball. They're shading him the other way.
0-2. He's got that off-speed pitch to dangle in there. Walker on deck. He tied it with his home run in the 9th. Rhodes into the stretch, checks the runners, and the 0-2 pitch to Doman. That's chopped foul. Got to get Tabata in and end the ball game. If they get Tabata in, they'll win the series and then have a chance to go for the sweep tomorrow. Incidentally, Atlanta has won in extra innings over San Francisco 2-1. Took them 11 innings.
And Arizona wins, so they keep their hot streak going.
Here comes the 0-2 again. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Doman. Arizona gaining another game in the National League West.
Terrio trying to keep Tabata honest at second base, shading up that way a little bit.
2-2. Pitcher record in this situation is Fernando Salas. He is responsible for Tabata at second base and also McCutchen at first. Two balls, 2 strikes. Arthur Rhodes looks back at Tabata. Now comes home. 2-2. And Doman up in the air to left. And Holiday. 2 down. So Neil Walker will have another opportunity.
Yep. And it cost the Pirates an out, but now Tabata can take off on contact as Ryan just barely gets under it. Knows he missed it.
The reason we're in extra innings, Neil Walker against Fernando Salas. Greeted him in the 9th inning with this drive. Looked like it went off the top railing, but actually hit that seat right behind it. And Walker, his 10th home run. That tied the game at 4. 2 on and 2 out in the 10th.
Any ball hit Jose Tabata is off to the races.
1-0. Walker a 3-hit night. He had a 2-hit night last night. 5 hits in this series for Neil. Here comes Arthur Rhodes' 1-0 delivery. And Walker pops it up. Underneath it, John Jay, and we're going to the 11th. So the Pirates have the winning run aboard in the 9th and the 10th, and now we're on to the 11th. Season long, Jack Link's beef jerky. Feed your wild side. Kind of a wild one here tonight. 4 runs on 10 hits for the Cardinals, 4 runs on 7 hits for the Pirates. Chris Rysop comes out for his second inning of work. Pitched a clean top of the 10th. And now he will face Molina, who went in the 9 spot. And back to the top of the order, John Jay and Rafael Furcal.
4-4 ball game, 17 runners between the two teams left on the base paths.
Yadier Molina, 293 hitter. He has 8 home runs and he has driven in 42. This is his first at bat in the ball game. And it comes in the top of the 11th inning. One-0 pitch. And Molina to right field and a sliding crab. Oh, and a play by Xavier Paul. Highway robbery. Unreal.
We have seen some gems tonight. And the commitment is made. And if he doesn't catch it, Molina's still running. But had it pretty well measured as he comes down to kind of get level. Get that eye level with the baseball. Gets the leather around it.
John Jay behind 0-1 now. That'll give a pitcher some relief when he sees a play like that behind him.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The pitcher has lots of best friends. The double play is probably number one. But those kind of plays in the 11th inning rank right up there.
John Jay 0 for 2. Jay doubled and scored in the 9th to give the Cardinals a 4-3 lead. Only to see Neil Walker's homer in the bottom of the 9th tie it up. Daniel backed up a step. He retires Jay by 1.5 feet. 2 gone for the Cardinals in the 11th inning. The batter will be the shortstop, Rafael Furcal.
Rysop 5 up, 5 down so far. Good work. Holding the fort.
Furcal had been with the Dodgers, long time with the Braves. Runs up and takes a strike. Brandon Wood, the third baseman, had to be honest with that one. He charged in on the grass once he saw Furcal shorten up.
Laying on the corner lines, first baseman Garrett Jones and Wood. Leave some open spaces, but those open spaces are for singles, protecting you against the 2-base hit down the line.
Alan Craig, only guy left on Tony La Russa's bench. Right-handed hitter. And now 3-1. Rysop would like to get Furcal here. Albert Pujols on deck.
And leave him on deck until tomorrow night at 7:05.
Be fine.
You got to come back and get the shortstop.
And he walked him, and now Pujols will come to the plate. A 2-out walk issued by Rysop. Go back to the 6th inning when the 30th home run of the year was muscled out by Pujols. Straight seasons with 30 or more home runs to start his major league career. Nobody's ever done it in the game. His 47th home run as an opposing player here.
Gets his money's worth as usual. And the program here is not just to contain him, because you've got Holiday and Berkman following up. Your goal here is to get him out. Get him out.
He has been intentionally walked twice. Weishaupt peering over his shoulder for a call. 1-1. 2 outs, top of the 11th. Matt Holliday on deck. Holliday's dad, Tom, actually was a member of the Pirates organization for a while.
Yep.
Way back when. Long pause and the 1-1 pitch. Pujols toward the right field line.
In play.
And Xavier Paul won't get it.
Out of play.
And he slid hard into that wall.
Well, it looked like it was going to hang up and stay fair in it.
Xavier Paul banged into that wall. Now there's a whole row of cement that the fence posts are put into, and that would hurt if he slides straight into that.
He had a long trip. I thought this ball was going to hang up. That's why he really had to commit for that distance. Looked like maybe that left knee or ankle comes into play. He goes into that figure 4 slide to try to break his momentum as he gets closer to the fence.
So you can see just that little bit of concrete down there. One leg went in, and I think his other knee sort of got, I don't know, short hopped, if you will.
He's had a rough night getting out of the batter's box. Thought that might have been a real issue. There you see the not only the chain link fence, but then you got supports you got to deal with, and that base you were talking about. Some hard surfaces there.
Now watch his right foot go into the concrete, and watch his left knee just shorten up right there. So he will remain in the game. Tough this one out. He hasn't played this long for nothing. In the 11th inning tonight, Pirates trying to gut one out against the Cardinals. Paul made a tremendous catch on Yadier Molina to start the inning. And now Pujols will 2 strikes on him. One ball, 2 strikes to Albert Pujols. There goes the runner, and this ball is hit into the gap in left center field. Long run from McCutchen, and he makes the catch! Oh my goodness!
Proving that you can outrun the baseball in full flight, and you think a crowd doesn't like to see that play. That is a sparkler. Full flight.
McCutchen can run like a thoroughbred.
Andrew at his best.
We're going to the bottom of the 11th inning. All even at 4. After making a stellar catch. Great reaction from his teammates. And Chris Reesop will hug.
Think they don't want this ball game?
Garrett Jones takes ball one from Arthur Rhodes.
You know, on top of everything else, Andrew was shading Albert a step or two, I think, toward right center field. So he had so much ground to cover, and he was in full stride. That's, you talk about one of the 5 tools, you won't see it better displayed than that.
1-1.
The speed to close on a ball that looked like at least 2 bases and a Cardinal lead.
On a guy who has been the game's best hitter at times, and certainly the best against the Pirates. Pujols hit his 47th home run against Pittsburgh tonight. He's 28th in this ballpark. And it looked like he was going to get a runner around. A lot of center fielders aren't going to get to that ball.
Most aren't.
Two and two. Garrett Jones with a 2-2 count against Arthur Rhodes. This one is chopped foul at the first baseline.
This is a grind for a left-hand batter against this veteran left-hand reliever.
5 and 7 in extra innings for the Pirates. 6 and 9 for the Cardinals. Ronnie Cedeno on deck. Garrett Jones facing the veteran lefty Arthur Rhodes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Bottom of the 11th. Jones hammers it. This ball game is over. The second career walk-off homer for Garrett Jones. The Pirates win 5-4. How do you like that? Splashdown home run for Jones.
And what an at-bat against the left-hand reliever who's been tough for a lot of years. Garrett grinds it out and buries it and buries it.
Pirates win the series and can go for the sweep tomorrow night. Jones had a walk-off 2 seasons ago against Bob Howry of the Giants. And he gets that ball soaking wet.
Call the River Patrol. We got a floater.
One bounce. Two-two pitch right in the wheelhouse. And Garrett Jones ends it in the 11th. What a great way for the Bucs to win this one. Arthur Rhodes knew it.
And so did everybody else.
A walk-off winner tonight for Jones and the Buccos. Win number 58. And the Pirates hope to break out the brooms tomorrow. 5-4 the final. Reesop over Rhodes. It took extra innings, but it was worth it. Pirates postgame coming up next.